Hi, and welcome to the non-dual lectionary for the third Sunday after Pentecost, Year A. We're continuing on with Matthew. Let's get right to it. It starts with Matthew chapter 9, verses 36, and continues on to chapter 10, through verse 8. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest." Then Jesus summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to cure every disease and every sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon, also known as Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus and Thaddaeus, Simon the Cananaean, and Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions: "Do not take a road leading to Gentiles, and do not enter a Samaritan town, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, proclaim the good news: the kingdom of heaven has come near. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those with a skin disease, cast out demons. You received without payment, give without payment." So I'm not going to try to explain or give a gloss on every part of this. There's some that has been taken certain ways, and you can kind of tell from, well, you can guess from context, right? That this particular time and place and what Jesus was doing, might not jive with some of the ideas we have today about what would be, an all-embracing or, um, you know, a moral or, world-centric approach to things. But that's not really the point, right, of what I'm doing here. So the idea of the non-dual recognition, the thing that I think we get more from, yeah, in a lot of ways, right? That we get more from the Christian tradition than every other, that from the Jesus story than any other, is the manifestation of humanity, right? Both the transcendent, the like recognizing true nature, the inherent emptiness, the what we might call spiritual, right? But also like the nitty gritty, right? If non-dual really means non-dual, it's not separate, right? It's not escaping to nirvana or resting in emptiness only, right? It's also living it out. And so right at the end here, right, we see these two things together, right? The proclaiming the good news, the kingdom of heaven has come near, right? Or the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's sometimes taken, right? Um, that I think from from the perspective we're taking here is like shorthand for just like, hey, right now, uh, is everything, right? And when I say is everything, I mean like it is everything. Like nothing happens outside of this, the now. But also, I mean like the opportunity is now, always, right? You can recognize true nature now, and even without that recognition, true nature always already is. So it's now, right? The kingdom of heaven, whatever you're searching for, whatever you're hoping, your life or yourself will be, is always now. So there's that like transcendent teaching right here, right? It's come near, it's right now. That's like the shorthand of like what we might see from every great wisdom teacher or guru through history. And then we also see right after it, right? Like the manifestation in the world. Like, and even and the way I kind of see that is like, and even those who aren't like ready to recognize that the kingdom of heaven is at hand now, do good. um, why? Because and it's not written here, right? But why? Because the recognition that, my small self is just an actor on the stage of, and not an actor, right? But in a way, right? Like is the manifestation of all and all as much as everything else is and every other person is. So of course, lift up everything else at the same time. Um, it's helping yourself, as much as anything else. Um, and plant the seeds for recognition and realization to come any other time later too, right? And if we go all the way back up to the top here too, right? The harvest is plentiful, but the later laborers are few. It's the crowds are there, right? And wanting it and ready in that way, but the people willing to help in both ways, right? Willing to like, pass on or help spark the recognition, right? Um, introduce people to true nature, like, pass on the realization in that way, are few, and the lifting up in all the other ways, right? All the like manifested real world ways, um, that's few as well. So, here what we've got is in those two little sections here, I think just a great encapsulation of what's unique in like, or maybe not unique, but like uniquely emphasized in the Jesus story, or in, the best of the Christian tradition, if we take it that way, right? Of like, often the non-dual part or the transcendent part is, that like spiritual realization or waking up is de-emphasized in the Christian tradition, right? But it's right here. It's like, hey, we've got that part, and, you're still living in the world, and so do good there as well, right? And so it's in the best in my mind, like of living out the non-dual recognition, like, hey, this is what is right now. Like you can recognize that right now. And also this is what is right now. Like people are suffering. And so alleviate suffering, even though in the end, like you can recognize that it's all a play. Um, and you hope that that passes on as well, like right now. And what is right now is like the grist for that realization, and the grist for like alleviating it in the real world as well. So, a beautiful little opportunity here, I think, to just glean some little things out of this, and hey, it's always good. It's always what is.